my rednecks? You know the only difference between a redneck and a hillbilly is elevation? Thanks, Patty. Hey, where's Juan? Don't go far, buddy. I'm going to need you to sign off on some shit here in a minute. All right? Whew. Like Patty said, this is my first time on this stage. I've done a lot of open mics, so I'm a little nervous, all right? You know that feeling you get when you have to go to the bathroom real hard? And you got about 10 steps in you, but it's going to take 15 to get there? That's where I'm at, man. So metaphorically speaking, I'm just trying not to shit myself. So my name's Corey Allman, like the Allman Brothers, yes. No, there's no relation. No, I don't know how to play an instrument or sing. Ramblin' Man is not my go-to karaoke song. It's Tiny Dancer, if any of y'all give a shit. So anyway, I'm from Texas. I don't know if you can tell by the accent. Texas is a big state, though. It's pretty diverse. There's a lot of different accents. You know, mine's kind of more from West Texas. If you go to South Texas, you hear something a little bit different. It's more like, ¿Qué pasa? I feel like I can tell that joke because I did grow up with a lot of the kids I grew up with were Hispanic. Like, I'd go to their house, hang out. All their moms loved me because I'd eat the day-old tortillas. You ever hung out with any Hispanic? They don't, unless it's hot off the griddle, man, they don't want to have anything to do with it. So, but actually, when we were in middle school, they let me join one of their bicycle gangs, which was kind of a weird adjustment for me because they're trying to teach me the gang signs. I'm like, I don't know if I'm supposed to bunt or still second base. But gang life wasn't good for me, man. I was in for about 2 months, but every time I'd show up to the clubhouse, they'd start jumping me in again. I'm like, man, I thought this was just a one-time thing. What the hell? I said, quit being such a pendejo, El Pinata. So I've got a pet snake. I named him Legs because I want to be edgy and ironic. Legs wasn't feeling good. He was a little lethargic, wasn't moving around much. So I took him to the vet. Turns out he had erectile dysfunction. I know, I love that one too. I'm not going to apologize for that one now. I'm not apologizing. Man, you know, after some guys finish having sex, they say, man, I tore that shit up. After I finish having sex, I say I left that shit intact. Because that's rude, you know? Someone's nice enough to have sex with you, and they leave your shit tore up. Those fuckers better not ask to borrow my lawnmower. Did you know that all safe words sound exactly the same when you have a ball gag in your mouth? My safe word actually is safe word because I like to be edgy and ironic. It actually used to be ball gag, but it got really confusing because I had to use it one night. I was like, what is it? Ball gag. It's like, make up your mind, man. Come on. So I'm about 20 pounds from my ideal weight, but I'm also about 20 pounds from saying, fuck it, where are the pancakes? I love pancakes. All right. Thank you, Bobby. Bobby has to clap because we rode together. But a friend of mine was saying, Corey, just work out or run or something. I said, man, I don't do anything athletic. Like the closest thing I do athletic, like last week, I did score a triple-double, but that was a Taco Tuesday, so I don't think that counts. You get 6 tacos, rice, beans, and a drink. That's pretty baller shit. I'd like to see Steph Curry do something like that. Man, I was watching a documentary the other day, and it's about a wolf. They said this wolf had traveled all the way from Oregon to California, like over 1,000 miles. They said that he was looking for a mate. I mean, initially, I thought maybe he was trying to get away from a bitch. But no, I felt an instant connection to this wolf. Like, he and I were kindred spirits. Because one time, I drove over 5 hours just for a hand job. All right. Let's see where this one's going. If y'all like that one, you're going to love this next one. Cover your ears. I walked in on my dogs doing some pretty weird shit the other day. One of them, he was laying on his side, and he's kind of propped up on his elbow. And he looked like Michael Jackson on the cover of that Thriller album. But he had his leg hiked up. The other dog was just going to town on his butthole. I don't know if he was working the butthole exclusively yet. He might have been, started at the scrot, maybe go across the tank and into the butthole. That's a move I like to call going coast to coast. All right. So, Girl Scout cookie season's over. Yeah. Y'all like that segue? It's like jumping in the Grand Canyon right there. No, but I'm glad about it, man, because the last several months I've had to dodge Satan's green army every time I try to go into damn Publix. Those girls are intimidating, They're like if you ever go camping, there's that rogue raccoon that comes into your campsite and it just sits there and it stares at you. And you're not supposed to feed it, but you do anyway. Because you're afraid it might mess you up. That's what those girls are like, I'm a grown man, and I've resorted to elaborate ruses to try to keep from having to buy these cookies. Like, I even made a fake medical alert bracelet, y'all. Like, so I was walking in, trying to get past the barricade. She hops out, she said, "Hey, you want to buy some cookies?" I said, "Sorry, sweetie, I have a medical condition." And she looked at my bracelet, she said, "You spelled diabetic wrong, fatty." So the next time I was walking by, I just ignored her like 2 times. She jumps in front of me, she says, "Hey, you want to buy some cookies?" I'm like, she's like, "What a coincidence. I have a badge in sign language." Son of a bitch. All right. Give me a couple of those Thin Mints and some of those with peanut butter. But getting out of there, getting in's one thing, getting out's another, What I like to do is I'll wait by the door, until I see a couple of snowbirds going out, and I'll just weave in with them. Because they can't get us all, It's like a herd of wildebeest crossing a croc-infested river. But I have twins. I have 15-year-old twins, boy and a girl. And it was fun raising them, especially when they were babies, because people always wanted to come up and see us and say, "Hey," talk about them. But the question I got all the time was, "Oh, twins, are they identical?" And I was like, "Well, no. The one in the blue has a wiener. The one in the pink doesn't. So they're not identical. They're not identical." But man, I knew I was going to be in trouble with the girl. When she was about 4 years old, she was coming out of the kitchen, and she had a bowl of Cheerios. And I just reached down and grabbed a couple and threw them in my mouth. She was like this. She's like, it just dropped it. It just walked off. And then she turned around and gave me another look. I was like, shit, I am into it with this one, right? My son, like I said, they're 15. But if I had to do it over again, I would have one child and then wait for about 10 years to have the next one. Because I don't know if y'all know it, I'm sure, with the shelf life for sweetness for a kid is about 12 or 13 years. And for both of mine, I hit that at the same time. I went from "Daddy, you're so funny" to "Daddy, you're lame, you suck, shut up." So if you have You know, a 3-year-old coming in, you can be like, hey, you can be a jerk all you want. I've got this one coming up right behind you. So, but I've just come to where I've just started trolling my kids. Like, that's my thing now. I just, you know, like, I tell you the best way to troll a teenage boy is to mix up DC and Marvel. I took him to see Shazam last week. Y'all seen Shazam? I took him to see Shazam, and like 5 times I'm like, hey, was that Stan Lee? Was that Stan Lee? Shut up. But I ate a lot of pizza before I went in there, and so I was getting a little sleepy. So actually I fell asleep. Like, I started snoring, and he elbowed me to wake me up, and so when we left, he's like, Dad, you suck. You fell asleep 6 times. I said, well, if you would have quit waking me up, I would have only fell asleep once. All right, I think that's my time. I appreciate y'all.
Corey Allman, everybody. Let's hear it for Corey. He did a great job. That's all right.